The poison for today's video is Lost Dark Magic by Polly's, just plainly called Stout. No other descriptors necessary. Cheers. So hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris, and it's been a few weeks since we put a video out. My apologies for that. Call it lack of motivation, call it whatever you will. Life sometimes just makes you tired, you know. But hey, we are back. I promise I'll get to an album at some point. Do what we do best, or worst, up to you. But I got a new video, thought it might be fun. So over the last 2 days or so, this little article has been circling around the internet. It's gonna pop up on your screen hopefully now. So yes, Rolling Stone's 100 greatest heavy metal songs of all time. Now, for those who are familiar with the rock and metal scene, will no doubt know who Rolling Stone are. Very long-standing and prestigious journalist outlet for all things rock, and after a couple of years or whatever, became into metal as well. They're known for their let's say I don't want to say outdated opinions on what good rock and metal is, but they're kind of notorious for these lists that they put out. If people remember the top 100 greatest rock and metal guitarists list, that was a doozy. I'm sure there are some people out there that think Bruce Springsteen is a better guitarist than Alex Lifeson, but you know, not for me to say. It was a weird one. It was a weird one. So when they dropped this, I knew I had to have a look. I had to see what they considered the best of heavy metal. I have not seen this yet. This is a live reaction, and I'm just going to give my thoughts as to who they've included, whether I agree, disagree with their placement, where they've been placed, and who I feel they might have missed, who should be on here, who shouldn't be on here. This is all in good fun. I'm not, that upset about a Rolling Stone at top 100. This is just fun. Figured it would be cool because everyone's talking about it. I do know some of the bands that made it onto the list, because bands that I follow have shared that they have featured on the list, which is cool. So yes, I know Opeth is on here. I don't know where they end up, but yeah, I figured I'm not going to show every single one, because firstly that will take forever. Secondly, in the age where print magazine is dead, these websites rely on these kind of articles online that you go to and you view, and you get the ad. They get the ad revenue basically. So I don't want to rob them of revenue by showing you the whole list here. So if you are interested in the whole list, please go check out the article. Link, of course, in the description below. But let's get started, shall we? It starts with just a bio about heavy metal and whatnot and how amazing it is, which I find it especially ironic because I'm pretty sure Rolling Stone gave Black Sabbath a disparaging review when they came out, but attitudes change and all that nonsense. So let's start. Number 100. Oh wow, okay. Welcome to Hell by Venom. Yeah, this is songs, isn't it? They just mean the song, not the album. Yeah, that was. I'm not. Maybe Rolling Stone turned a new leaf. I wasn't expecting to see Venom on here. I guess this is the problem with these Rolling Stone lists, is you don't know if they're talking about objective, is the song good or not, or are they talking about the most important legacy? Because if, to be fair, if you're going for both, there's perfectly good case for Welcome to Hell to be on here. It's a banger of a song, especially for the time it came out, but it also has a real legacy to it because of what Venom ended up influencing as they went forward. I would argue it should probably be even higher than 100. I'm not like a massive Venom fan or anything, but I think, they were kind of that, if Motorhead were more satanic, essentially, and it's loads of fun. Venom, of course, massively important band, so if we're going with importance, it should be a lot higher than this, but they made it on the list, which was a nice surprise. Wasn't expecting that. Oh wow, not expecting that at all. Power Trip, totally justifiable. Power Trip should absolutely have featured on this list. Tragic passing of Gale was horrendous, because this band were they just started their sort of peak songwriting, and they were so good. They were so good. So yeah, absolutely should be on this list for sure. I've never heard of Girls' School. Let me know if I should rectify that. Wow. Okay. I bet there were some Rolling Stone executives that were really having to swallow their pride when they put Cannibal Corpse on the list. I mean, it is a heavy metal list. So what are you gonna do? I would have screamed bloody murder if Cannibal Corpse were not on this list. They should be way higher than this. They should be in the top 50 without a doubt. Hammer Smash Face, okay, the memes aside, Ace Ventura aside, that song, firstly, is fantastic. Secondly, Cannibal Corpse, if we're going with significant bands in the genre, Cannibal Corpse are one of the most significant metal bands of the 90s, easily. I mean, I know Death and Possessed kind of codified death metal, but it would not have gotten as big as it was. It wouldn't have had the widespread appeal and notoriety that it ended up were it not for Cannibal Corpse. So if we're going legacy, they should be way fucking higher. If the song quality, it should also be quite a bit higher as well. But fair play, at least they made it. And there might be more Cannibal Corpse to come. There are repeat bands on this list, so there might be more to come. I don't know what Cannibal Corpse song you would put above Hammer Smash Face. I mean, I prefer other ones, but I don't think if they go for the obvious shit, they're not going to have anything else. You'll see what I mean as we go forward. Oh, what? 91? Come on. Put fucking Dream Theater. They should be way higher up on the list. Dream Theater, okay, they've teetered off a little bit in the latter bit of their career, but my god, talk about an influential prog metal band. And Rolling Stone are all about prog. Come on. Pull Me Under. Okay, it's not my favourite song of Images and Worlds. It's still a really, really good song. Fantastic musicianship. Massively influential band to an entire subgenre. Same with Cannibal Corpse, so don't steal the logic. There should be higher. Come on. Oh wow, okay. The start of something mighty controversial. Bring the Noise, Public Enemy featuring Anthrax. This song actually is pretty fucking sweet though, I'm not gonna lie. New metal, hit and miss genre aside, this song was just loads of fun. And again, if we're talking legacy, if we're talking how it affected the genre going forward, this did massive waves in heavy metal, so just putting that out there. Okay, right. So this is where we start to run in with my main problem with a lot of these Rolling Stone heavy metal articles, and that's when they include classic bands that, in my opinion, are not heavy metal. There are some bands where I'm going to be more definitive and say, no, they're absolutely not heavy metal. King Crimson, I think, are right on that cusp, right on the cusp of being prog metal or prog rock, so I can see an argument here for putting King Crimson on the list, and they picked the obvious one, 21st Century Schizoid Man. But if you were going to pick a part of King Crimson that was heavy metal, I think In the Court of the Crimson King is probably the safest way to go. And it's a great song, don't get me wrong. We could debate whether it belongs here though. Okay, yeah, we were gonna get there was gonna be some hair metal on here, no doubt. And if it's gonna be any of them, I don't mind it being Twisted Sister. I swear to God, if we get that other fucking band, you'll know, because I'm gonna be really fucked off. But yeah, Twisted Sister are fun. We're not gonna take it. Best song by them? I don't know. Again, there might be more coming up. But this song's fun. Not gonna lie. Great live. I'm sure it's really fun to hear it live. But yeah, fair enough. Fair. I've never got it with Deftones. I'm sorry, I just haven't. I don't get. I've seen them live, I think 3 times at various festivals that I've been to, and I just don't get it. Just don't. So, but you know, if you request it enough, maybe I'll do a Deftones discography. I don't know. Yeah, not for me, but they are a massive band, so fair enough. Oh, here we go. This is another one of those massive debates. Are we going to include grunge? Because we got fucking Soundgarden. Obviously, you know, respect to Chris Cornell and his tragic passing, obviously. I don't like grunge, really, at all. Not even Nirvana, to be perfectly honest. It's fine. I don't mind grunge, but it always felt like just I don't know. It never struck a chord with me. I know for a lot of people it really did. I guess in the 90s it was kind of, you were either heavy into your heaviest metal or you were into grunge. Yeah, it just doesn't jive with me. And is grunge metal? For my money, no, it's absolutely not. I don't see why Soundgarden have a spot on this list. I really don't. Ah, yeah, fuck yes. Bathory. I would have, again, screamed bloody murder if Bathory weren't on here. Find A to Die is an interesting choice. I would have picked something from Under the Sign of the Black Mark. But still, yeah, repping Bathory. I was surprised to see some proper black metal on here. I thought Venom was all we were going to get, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, fucking awesome. That's a great choice. Obituary. Nice. Yeah, Obituary, new album's fucking killer, so I would have probably picked something from the new album, but chopped in half, yeah, great. Obituary. Good to see some proper, like, extreme metal being represented here by Rolling Stone. Ooh, that's interesting. I thought this would be in the top 20. Du Hast, Rammstein. This is a surprise. I thought Rolling Stone would pick all the really obvious stuff. If they probably have picked obvious stuff for the top 20 and whatnot, but not Rammstein's Du Hast. Easily their biggest song, and they're one of the biggest touring acts in heavy metal. So although I'm not the biggest fan of Rammstein or industrial, I don't dislike it for the record. It just not really doesn't really get me excited or anything. But I would have expected, if you're talking legacy and influence on the genre, this is probably as influential as any industrial band has ever been. I mean, I'm sure people are going to debate that. I'm not an industrial expert, but if even me, someone from the outside of that subgenre looking in, Du Hast is fucking huge. So maybe this should be higher. Let me know what you think. Why on earth would you pick You Suffer by Napalm Death other than for memes? I mean, I know we're picking best songs in heavy metal, and if you're going to pick anything from Napalm Death, most of it's going to be under 30 seconds long, but how can you call a song that's 2 seconds long one of the best songs in heavy metal? How are you going to convince people that a 2-second song is better than Hammer Smash Face, is better than Welcome to Hell, is better than 21st Century Schizoid Man? What the right, okay, here we go. This is where things are going to go. Blood and Thunder by Mastodon at 71. It should be higher. It should be a lot higher. This song defined the early 2000s in, like, proper heavy metal. Still probably one of their biggest. Is it their biggest song to this day? Ruben, correct me on that. It's got to be up there. This album was voted one of the best albums of the 2000s. This was a massive deal for heavy metal at the time when it came out, so this should be up there in the top 50 for sure. Let's see how many times I can say in the top 50. If I say it more than 50 times, we know these lists are harder than they look. Oh, wow, okay, Gojira, 70. Flying Whales, interesting choice. Again, similar with Mastodon, I think this should be given more credit than it's due, because Gojira, I don't know, Gojira have kind of only in the last 4 or 5 years really taken over the heavy metal world. They've always had that massive following in the prog, in the extreme metal scene, but they've been slowly climbing the ranks. It's only in the last, as I say, 5-6 years that it's really exploded. But they should be on this list because they write incredible music. Flying Whales, sure, as good as any. So yeah, probably should be higher, but totally fair enough. Oh god, here we go. This is where I'm going to make some enemies. Van Halen a metal band? I mean, to be honest, I could say that about most hair metal. I don't think most hair metal warrants being called metal. The only reason I think hair metal is called air metal is because that's easier to say than hair rock. Because what is metal other than the guitar in this? Don't get it at all. But I suppose there's references to the devil. If I was going to listen to a hair metal band, I probably would pick Van Halen, maybe Twisted Sister over the other band, who no doubt are coming. But yeah, not for me. I can see Eddie Van Halen being listed in one of the best guitarists, because he was legendary, very innovative, but nah, not for me. Ooh, okay, we are getting more new metal. I'm surprised. Yeah, if you were going to pick a Korn song, probably Blind. Most seminal song of early new metal, probably the most influential thing Korn ever did, was that riffing for blind, just kick-started new metal, basically. So, yeah, totally fair enough. About the right place as well, 67. Oh, okay. Now, Slipknot should be higher. They should be so much higher than this. 60? Are you kidding? One of probably the most influential metal bands of the 2000s, and one of the most successful metal bands that have ever existed. I know this isn't a band list, this is a song list, but these artists are so ridiculously varied. I don't know how you can actually weigh these songs up against each other, unless you're talking legacy of the song and the band themselves as well. That's why I'm really talking about that. People equal shit. Yeah, probably the. It's not the best Slipknot song. Are you kidding? But yeah, I can see why they would have picked that. It definitely surmises the iconic era of Slipknot and when they basically took over the world, essentially. But yeah, I think you're doing them dirty here. I know Slipknot is a divisive band right now with their newer material, but you cannot argue the legacy of this, the album that this song came from and the album that came before that one. One of the biggest metal bands in history off the back of 2 fucking albums. So yeah, should be way higher. Come on, Rolling Stone, up your game. Oh wow, again, black metal's, extreme metal's doing very well in this video. We'll see how the top 50 looks. But Mayhem, I don't know much Mayhem, I'm gonna be honest. Mike's the more the black metal guy. I'm mostly into, like, Bathory and that kind of thing. He likes Bathory too. My point is he's much more extensive on black metal and he loves Mayhem, so he'd be able to tell you if this was the right song. But gotta say, I do respect Rolling Stone for at least branching into the extreme metal, because I did not expect them to do that as much as they are currently doing. Okay, the first and I'm sure not the last time we're going to see some Ozzy on this list, and I couldn't be happier, because yes, Ozzy is amazing, both in Black Sabbath and in his solo stuff. Bark at the Moon, great song, really, really great song. 56, it could be a little bit higher, I guess, but, some stuff has to be towards the middle, in the back, as long as the rest of it is all great stuff too. It's decent stuff. There's lots of other great Aussie songs that I hope do come up, but yeah, it's a good one. Okay, now, Def Leppard metal, come on, really? New wave of British heavy metal, they get called, I guess, at a push, but come on, really? My boys, Tool, 46 and 2. That's an interesting choice. If you were going to put Tool on this list, I would have thought you'd go for Lateralis. Again, might come up later. But yeah, that's an interesting one. They should have put it at 46 or 2. Hey, there they are, my boys. Fucking Opeth at number 52. I would obviously say they should be way fucking higher than this, because Opeth are some of the most, Mikael Åkerfeldt, one of the most genius songwriters that prog metal has ever seen, even in, their more prog rocky side that they've done. Deliverance is that's such an obvious choice. Deliverance isn't my favourite Opeth song by far. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but my god, they've got some other incredible stuff earlier in their catalogue than that. I mean, you wouldn't even go for anything off Blackwater Park. That would at least be not quite as obvious, but still respectable. Deliverance is still great, though, obviously, but I would have taken Ghost of Perdition, Godheads of Men, Leper Affinity over Deliverance, but hey, Opeth made the cut. That's good enough for me. Right, we're moving on to the top 50 now. Celtic Frost, nice. Again, Extreme Metal's doing very well. Around 50, yeah, I'd say that's respectable. Here we go. Megadeth, Symphony of Destruction, not even anywhere close to my favourite Megadeth song. I mean, I would rate pretty much anything on Rust in Peace above Symphony of Destruction. I find Symphony of Destruction a tad overrated, I'm not going to lie. I don't think Symphony of Destruction is worthy of being this high. If you were going to have Megadeth this high, I would have picked, something like Holy Wars or Hangar 18, or heck, I prefer Dystopia, most Dystopia over this song. So any of those would have been sufficient. But, this song's a big staple, especially live. It's got a very memorable riff and all that. But I do love Megadeth, and I'm glad to see them in the top 50. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I suppose their old stuff was definitely new metal. But man, talk about picking the obvious track. My God, Bring Me to Life. Bring Me to Life. The only people who say Evanescence's best song is Bring Me to Life are people who have not heard any other Evanescence songs. When I was, God, 2003 that came out. When I was, I don't know, about 12, 13, I got big into their first album. I think it was called Fallen. I don't even remember half the tracks on that album now, but I remember liking quite a lot of it. Was Everybody's Fool, I think, was a song on there. My Last Breath, I think, if I remembering correctly, was my favourite track off that album. Hello is a good one, but it's a very somber one. Bring Me to Life, come on. You're putting fucking Bring Me to Life by Evanescence above fucking 21st Century Schizoid. Man, that's gonna piss off a bunch of fucking people. You're putting them above Opeth? You're putting Evanescence above Opeth? Come on. Okay, again, we're picking the obvious tracks. Yeah, Bleed by Sugar. I mean, I'm getting the sense that this is more of a top 100 metal bands, and they're just picking the most obvious song for each artist with a couple outliers here and there, such as Tool. Bleed by Sugar, I mean, Ruben has told me repeatedly, Bleed is by no leagues at all the best Meshuggah song. I think it's kind of the only one I know. I do like it. It's great. I listen to it on occasion just for that good old head pummeling riffing. But yeah, it's Meshuggah. Bleed. It's a good song. 41, respectable place. Oh wow, okay. There's got to be more Judas Priest coming, right? There's no way this is the only Judas Priest song at 40. My God. Victim of Changes. I'm not familiar with that one. Is that one any good? If it's not, why is it here? And if it is good by Judas Priest standards, shouldn't that be higher? Just saying. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to get some repeats because, my God, For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica should be way higher. That song is so good. It was one of the first examples of Metallica showing their brutal, powerful side as well as the fast thrashing. Because I know when you listen to modern Metallica, it might be hard to imagine that they were able to do slow well. I've heard it, and it's this song should be way higher. This album and this song were great. Between the Belt, too low, bump it up. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't really listen to Rage Against the Machine, I never have. But Killing in the Name, my God, what a way to start a legacy, really. One of the most explosive debut singles ever. Defined an entire attitude and movement, and yeah, fair enough. Very important song, very significant song, obviously, significant album and all that, and a massive band, so, fair enough. Wow, okay. I figured this would be in the top 10. Chop Suey by System of a Down. Is it still the most played metal song of all time on YouTube? It's got to be up there. I know it was for a while. This is one of the most famous metal songs of the 21st century. Like them or loathe them. So I don't know. Maybe don't know. Don't have no idea what their criteria is here. But I can definitely see why you'd want to include this song because of its importance to the genre. They're not for me. They're not my band. But yeah, monster of a song. So it deserves its place. Probably should be higher if you're going for legacy. Oh, here we go. I believe this is our first repeat. Fade to Black by Metallica. Again, it shows that they're not just thrash machines back in the day, because they could do amazing tracks like this. I would argue this should probably be higher as well. Fade to Black is one of Metallica's absolute best songs. It's one of the most moving, it's one of the most emotional, it's got some of the best... It's one of the best solos Kirk Hammett did, because it's not too overstated, it's quite cool, and it loved the build-up to it, and just how it all ends. Fantastic song. This should probably be higher, in my opinion. Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, the age-old debate. Who was the first heavy metal band? Was it Deep Purple? No, it wasn't. Deep Purple were not a heavy metal band. They never were. They were an incredible band. They were fantastic. They basically invented the guitar riff. That's an exaggeration, but come on. They're proto-metal at best. And again, talk about picking the obvious. Smoke on the Water. I mean, yeah, if you're going for a top 100 songs and you want to include Deep Purple, I guess it's got to be Smoke on the Water because that's your closest tie to riff-based metal you're ever going to get from this band. Have your Deep Purple Rolling Stone. I know you probably would have. Sent yourself into a coma if you didn't include Deep Purple on here somewhere. Oh, here we go. We're getting some Dio era Black Sabbath, which is a nice surprise. Yeah, Heaven and Hell, probably the right choice if you're going to pick from that era. Dio was one of the most incredible vocalists heavy metal has ever known, so you put him in one of the most important bands that heavy metal has ever known. You have gold. Yeah, Heaven and Hell, great album, great song, fucking awesome. Yeah, about the right place as well. 31. Oh god, here we go. Okay, yeah, if we're talking importance, if we're talking legacy again, you could justify Enter Sandman being above Fade to Black and Boom the Bell Tolls, but if you talk to any sane Metallica, but that's mean. If you talk to some Metallica fans, myself included, if you're going to try and argue that Enter Sandman is better than Fade to Black and Boom the Bell Tolls, I'm going to say you're talking absolute shit, because it's not. It's stadium metal, it's maybe because it's just overplayed, I'm sick of it, but no, Enter Sandman, compared to those first 3 albums, well, 4 if you include Unjustice for All, if you compare Enter Sandman to some of Unjustice for All and the 3 albums prior, it just doesn't come close. Just doesn't come close. Swap Enter Sandman with Through the Bell Tolls. That's what I would do. Ah, now that's more like it. I'm glad we got some repeats that proved me wrong. Holy Walls by Megadeth. Fuck yes, incredible song, one of my favourite things to play on guitar. It's so good. Yeah, I just love it. I love all the riffs. I love how it changes into 2 different songs basically, and then back to the original by the end. Great solos, great speed, great energy. 28, yeah, about almost bang on where I would put that as well. Awesome. Hey, here we go, back to Judas Priest, Living After Midnight. Great anthem, great song. Yeah, about the right place. 27. We're doing okay at the moment. We're doing okay. Of course, yeah, needed some solo Dio stuff. Rainbow in the Dark. Probably it's not my favourite Dio song. It's up there though, and it's a fantastic song. Great guitar work on it as well. Really fucking good. 25 again. Just about the right place, I think. South of Heaven by Slayer. Hopefully not the only Slayer representation we get, because we still haven't had that one or that one. South of Heaven, good choice, though. Good choice to put on this list. That's a really good song as well. Yeah, I mean, Slayer were going to feature near the top, no doubt. I'm surprised it took this long. Yeah, might bring that out just a touch, but I prefer Megadeth to Slayer, so I would swap those the Holy Wars and this one around, but that's just me. I know the big 4 walls are they still raging on? Is it still a debate? But whatever. It's good. Slayer, about the right place. Oh, fuck's sake. Gonna need a swig of beer for this one. I fucking hate Motley Crue. I hate Motley Crue so much. I hate everything they stand for. I hate their stupid music comes second, lifestyle comes first kind of attitude to performing and touring and doing shows and whatnot. I hate it. I hate it so much. Everything that I despise about the ethos of hair metal is personified here in this fucking band. I can't stand them. Cannot stand them. Oh, wow, okay. Anthrax, nice. Just outside the top 20. Kind of the black sheep of the big 4, I suppose. Still great. I like them. They're great live. Caught in a Mosh. Yeah, I'd probably choose that one as well. Obvious reasons, it's great live. And it's a really, really cool song. Debate down below, what era of Anthrax do you prefer? Because I don't care. I think it's cool. Either way. This took long enough to get to some Iron fucking Maiden. The Trooper, that worries me that the Trooper is the one we're seeing first. That might suggest we're not seeing any other Iron Maiden repeats, because I could see an argument that the Trooper is the best Iron Maiden song. It's probably one of my favourites, but the Trooper is one of my favourite songs of all time. Just saying. It's got the perfect galloped guitar riff. It's got great dual solo in it as well. It's got a phenomenal chorus, and even the guitar hook in the chorus, as well as Bruce's vocal hook in the chorus, both of them are scene stealers, one after the other. So if you took the archetypal perfect Iron Maiden song, you would have the Trooper, I think. You could argue that they have some stronger stuff. I know Mike is a massive fan of Hallowed Be Thy Name. I love that song too, but I think the definitive Iron Maiden song is the Trooper. So this is the only one we get on this list. I think they've picked the right one. See thoughts on Motley Crue, but not quite as sweary. Hey, let's get some more Megadeth in there. Peace Cells. I prefer Holy Wars, not gonna lie. Peace Cells are still pretty fucking close, though. I do really like Peace Cells as well. Again, great, lovely bass. Love the bass line, love the guitar work, love the message, and the iconic Dave Mustaine vocals right at the beginning. Love them all over them. They are instantly recognizable. That makes a great song, in my opinion. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is the Deep Purple debate all over again. No, Led Zeppelin were not a metal band. They had songs that laid the groundwork for heavy metal and maybe had some trimmings in there, but no, they were not a heavy metal band. They never were. They were a rock band. A phenomenal rock band. Don't get me wrong. Some of my absolute favourite songs of all time. Immigrant Song, great choice. It's a great song. Does not belong on this list. See above. Oh, no way, they actually did it. Hallowed Be Thy Name. I made the one I referenced earlier, the one that Michael would probably have picked. Okay, yeah, that's a pleasant surprise. I prefer the Trooper, but yeah, fuck yeah. More Iron Maiden. Hallowed Be Thy Name. Fucking awesome. It's such a good song, though. I'm not taking anything away from it. It's a beautiful song. Very powerful story that the song tells as well. So, yeah. Awesome. 16, bang on. Hey, this is the one. This was the Slayer song I wanted. Angel of Death is might be one of my favourite thrash metal songs ever written. It's just perfect from start to finish. The energy, the lyrics. I can take or leave Kerry King solos at this point, but and it's one of the most punch you in the face album openers that there has ever existed in any heavy metal genre. So yeah, absolutely deserves to be on this list. I would even put it above the song that we're probably going to get in a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, back to Dio again in another project as Rainbow, just about heavy metal, I think. You can thank Dio for that, basically. Yeah, Stargazer, probably the best song Rainbow did with Dio. It's definitely up there. I love Tarot Woman as well. I would have loved to have seen that on there, but yeah, still a great one. It's all 15. Yeah, I suppose. Wow, okay. I thought this would be in the top 10 as well. Paranoid by Black Sabbath, the title track of the first full heavy metal album. No doubt we'll talk about the other one. But yeah, Paranoid, just mental history, a last minute addition to the album at the 11th hour to have a single on it. Was it a single even? Or was it just to pad it? I'm not sure. Just a last minute, let's just shove a song at the beginning of this thing. And they wrote one of the most iconic songs that heavy metal has ever known. Just lightning in a bottle in all of music, basically. 13's too low. Stick it in the top 10. Oh, maybe 13 was intentional. Yeah, okay. I think there's a case to be made that 1 is probably Metallica's most accomplished, just incredible piece of music. It has everything. It has emotion, it has thrash, it has melody. One of those just perfect creations that is exactly everything that they wanted it to be, and it does so many different things. Yeah, it's an incredible song. It kind of defies description, really. It's just that fucking good. I can't keep saying things need to be in the top 10 because there wouldn't be any space left. Yeah, 1 is a masterpiece, pure and simple. Okay, yeah, Run to the Hills, the Trooper's better, Hallowed Be Thy Name is better. Run to the Hills, it's iconic, so fine, I get that. Top 10 though, I would swap this with the Trooper in a heartbeat. More Dio, Holy Diver. Yeah, top 10, I don't know about that. I'd probably swap it with Rainbow in the Dark, to be perfectly honest. But it's still great, really, really good riff, and his incredible vocals just carry everything, don't they? So you can't really argue with Dio in the top 10. Basically, it's Dio. It's gonna be incredible. Yeah, this is the one I expected to see. Raining Blood by Slayer. Not my favourite. I prefer Angel of Death. But one of the most iconic guitar riffs, maybe ever. Not ever. I mean, there's other famous ones as well, but this one is up there with one of the most iconic riffs ever made. And the fact it was made by this thrash metal band, doing their own gross stuff that was kind of outlying, like what Metallica and Megadeth and that lot were doing, just kind of incredible, really. But yeah, it's loud, it's fast, it's iconic. So, although it's not my favourite, I can see why it's in the top 10. Oh, okay, I think we're going to get several repeats now coming up in a row. Iron Man, Black Sabbath. Again, one of the most iconic riffs. I can see where they're going with these last few spots. It's all about the guitar riffs. I'm a guitarist, so nothing wrong with that here. Yeah, incredible song, not based on the Marvel character, based on something else entirely. Yeah, phenomenal song from a phenomenal album from a phenomenal band. And carrying on the trend, we've got Ozzy Osbourne and Crazy Train. Yeah, this song is a gem. It's really, really fucking good. I wouldn't put it in my top 6 Ozzy Osbourne songs or anything like that, but it is really good. Very iconic, very catchy, very iconic riff and whatnot. Yeah, just awesome stuff. And these guys again. War Pigs is my favorite Black Sabbath song. Might be one of my favorite songs, period. It's that good. It's well realized, its vision is clear, its pointed satire is clear. It's songs like this that make me laugh when people claim about or complain about bands being too political nowadays. And I'm like, come on, Black Sabbath were never apolitical. Have you fucking heard War Pigs? Yeah, masterpiece from start to finish. One of the most incredible songs of all time. Number 5, I can't complain with that, I suppose, even if I would probably put it number 1 or 2. Fucking breaking the law. I'm aware of its legacy and its fame, its notoriety. It's great. It's a great live staple. I've seen Judas Priest 3 times, and every time they play this, it's always an absolute blast. But it's not that good of a song. Let's be real. It's a very rudimentary riff, very rudimentary chorus, but it's fun, I guess. 4th best heavy metal song of all time. Maybe in terms of icons, legendary legacy status, I can argue that. In terms of quality, no. Wow, it took way too long to get to Motorhead. I mean, Ace of Spades, justifiable choice, I suppose. Yeah, probably top 10, I suppose. We could have had so much more Motorhead on this list as well as this, but you know, this is what we got, and it's a good choice, I guess. Ace of Spades obviously is incredible song, incredible anthem, and I guess showcase for one of the most important bands in the genre, even if they to the end of their days never considered themselves a heavy metal band. We love them for it. Fuck yeah, Motorhead were awesome. Oh yes, I was waiting for this one. One of my favourite songs ever made, up there with War Pigs for sure. I fucking love Master of Puppets by Metallica. My favourite song to play on guitar. I got into music college rather, auditioning playing this song. It means that much to me. It's got everything: the thrash, the melody, the cool down, the solo, the one of the best choruses ever made. You know, I'll always argue that. Fucking love this song. I'm assuming this is the highest rated Metallica song on the list, and justifiably so. This song is absolutely incredible. Yeah, okay, fine. I saw this coming, I guess. Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. If we're going legacy and influence, how could you not say this is number 1? It's the song that invented heavy metal. It was born with this song, with those notes, with this incredible song. Is it the best metal song ever made? No, it is not. But it's kind of pointless to point to one song and say it is the absolute best, because there's so much heavy metal out there and it's branched off in so many different ways. It's just been built upon and built upon and built upon an infinite number of times. If you're going to pick the best one, yes, it makes sense to go with the first, but that kind of feels a bit boring, really, which is why these massive 100 greatest things are kind of dumb, because I find it much more interesting if I were to say what's my favourite 10, but whatever, maybe we can do that one day. But yeah, that was 100 greatest heavy metal songs of all time by Rolling Stone. Not as disastrous as I'm sure some people were expecting. I think my main critiques with it would be a few bands that did not deserve to be on this list. And I don't mean in terms of quality. I'm not trying to be say that how could you not put my favourite bands on there? But why are AC/DC on here? Why is Led Zeppelin on here? Why are Deep Purple on here? King Crimson Push, and fuck Motley Crue. And also, I think they've been very typical with the bands that they've put. It's all classic metal, traditional metal, the biggest bands in the genre, and prog, basically. The odd grunge and hair metal and stuff like that as well. But they've ignored power metal. For God's sake, I wasn't expecting to see Blind Guardian or anything like that. But where's Halloween? They were massively important. They wrote some massively important stuff that defined the genre. Where's the symphonic stuff? Where's Nightwish? Love them or loathe them, they're the poster band for symphonic metal. I could see Ghost Love Score fitting in on this list. Where's Ghost? Just, you got 100 slots here, and you're not going to include arguably the biggest metal band on the planet right now. Yet you're going to include stuff that isn't heavy metal at all. I mean, yeah, that's just me. There's some glaring omissions here, namely those ones that I've mentioned there. But on the whole, it could have been a lot worse. I'm sure opinions for this, some corners of the internet, are much more vitriolic than what I'm going for here. But I think, you know what, this could have been worse. And heck, it got me talking about some bands that I might not necessarily have the opportunity to talk about. If you want to see me do my own kind of top 10s, like my personal favourite stuff, I'm not going to do 100. Are you kidding me? I've got enough shit to do. But yeah, if you want me to see me talk about like legacy stuff like this, because I like to talk about more contemporary releases and whatnot, then suggest it. Maybe I'll get to it one day. But for now, Rolling Stone's top 100 greatest heavy metal songs of all time. Have you seen it? Have you read it? What did you think about the list? Where do you disagree with me? Where do you disagree with them? Comment down below who you think got missed. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.